we've got a position here, yeah, G5 was played, and after bishop C3 did go E5. So we had
so this happened, and he went bishop A1, creating a square for his knight on C3. So after A6 he could retreat. Carlsen went knight D4, pretty logical. Knight takes, C takes D. Could make a case for E takes D as well, I'm not sure which one. But Mr. Magnus decided to take with the C pawn. E3, quite logical, trying to break up this chain. Now it's going to come down to, can black finish his development before white does any harm? Say D takes E, queen takes E3, castles, maybe even F5 looks interesting. I would like to go D4 here with white, but then you have knight F5 with tempo. Looks like Carlsen is doing all right.
It's all right on the knight, yeah. And that bishop on A8 is playing a role here. So, yeah,
You
G4.
could even go
G4.
Yeah, you don't want this.
No.
There, he just played queen F5, even more concretely attacking the knight on F3.
Ah, he's forcing E4, that's clever.
Provoking E4. Not sure. You could play a move like knight E1, but I would expect Predojevic to play E4. Not sure I would actually. E4, the problem is then the queen just retreats. This F5 is going to be quite powerful after castles. Followed by F5. No, looks like Carlsen got what he wanted, a full-fledged battle with all the pieces on board. And I'm not so sure about this maneuver bishop C3, which looked natural, and putting it on A1. It's a bit of a long way from the action on A1. What's this bishop doing, right? Not that it has a dream square, but you still wanted to contribute somehow. Not so easy.
Yep.
So, yeah. Carlsen is all right.
What about the top board in the women's section? Let's go back.
Let's go there.
Russia, Hungary. Big match. Quite somewhat.
It's really amazing in Norway. He's been having some decent results, but no one seems to be interested at all in the guy.
No, it's unbelievable.
That was tongue-in-cheek.
That was very tongue-in-cheek.
He's quite famous.
He's reasonably famous, yeah. And what's his position like against Borki, the Borkster?
The Bork? I'm not sure. Equalish?
That's the commentator cop-out, as we like to call it.
Used to be unclear, but nowadays with the computers there's no more unclear really, so you just call it equal all the time.
Yeah, it's a tough position. What do you think? What do you really think is going to happen?
Really? I think Carlsen's going to somehow find a way to win, but probably. I'm not that sure actually if he's going to find a way to win. We see Borki just took on E6. Not sure I like that move because it repairs black's pawn structure a little bit. Carlsen can take back with the pawn.
Yeah, but on the plus side,
super solid.
On the plus side, less pieces. If there are no pieces
That is
left,
always
it's a
a plus.
draw. And given that they have equal pieces, if you took all the pieces off systematically...
Now let's just illustrate what you're trying to say for the viewers. If all these... Now this can still be there.
Yeah.
All these pieces... This will take 5 till 6 minutes. I'm sure you're going to be enjoying this segment of the show. I've missed a pawn there.
Yeah, maybe we're...
If all these pieces were disappeared...
Yes.
The game would end in a draw.
Yes.
This is normally my approach to chess, try to get rid of them. We have someone who might have gone for a similar approach today. We'll ask him about it in a minute on the show.
Or less.
Less than a minute?
I think it's going to be less than a minute, yeah.
I'm not sure.
He's already sitting next to me.
Still need to get him mic'd up,
he's a man in
camera
demand
up
as well. So it's a pleasure for me to introduce a star. Is that right? Do you think...
I guess it's really unpleasant playing against Carlsen when you don't know what's your next move, right?
What about that knight on G2? Looks a bit shoddy. Why don't I put it on C2? How about that for a start?
That looks like a good
getting
plan.
rid of more pieces.
Yeah, but you're not forced to take. Oh, you might go Queen B7. Is that at some point?
Not
You're
sure
gonna
where
go
you wanna go. Queen H5 looks
Well,
good.
knight E1 and Queen B7. Is that your idea?
It does look very close to equal, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. Borki rock solid, isn't he?
he is a solid player.
Is he going to play it? He's about to move. Here we go.
Oh.
No, he's just stroking his beard. Looked like he was going to move though, but I do that sometimes.
Pretending to move and then you're just stroking your beard.
Yeah, I just let my opponent.
Magnus doesn't look that happy, right?
Oh, he's played knight E1. We're not wired up to him, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a very logical suggestion.
That would be cheating if people were wired up to our suggestions. They would just crush the tournament, right?
I think they would all be finished on a minus score, right?
That's what I
We are horrible chess players. But somebody who isn't is Mr. Parmigianeggi. Thank you very much. Languages.
Politics.
Something like that. Yeah, I studied politics to be able to commentate with Germans.
Yeah, that must be
And be
quite
bureaucratic.
challenging. Diplomatic, I think, is the word
Dip-
you
and-
meant. You can also
complete-
try to be more bureaucratic, but
I'm completely gone, haven't I? I've just completely gone.
I don't
What's wrong
notice
with
a
me?
big difference to any other day. I think it's all good.
Well, Carlsen is... What did he do? He did something.
He did something.
He did something. What did he do?
Whatever he does is news in Norway. If he has
He played
breakfast,
H5.
plays football, plays H5, we will have a news story about that.
He's going to go Queen E4.
Why not?
Why not? And the point is, if you take,
You take back.
I take back, I then plonk.
Yeah, I think taking on E4 would actually be a mistake. Gives the knight on D3 such a beautiful square. I'd rather expect him to keep the tension, play a move like H4, maybe even D5. No, let's say H4. He is good at these positions. So many times we've said, nah, equal, draw. And then he did make something happen. Yesterday we said, winning, he's going to win, and he actually lost. So you never know with Magnus Carlsen. But I would still expect him, at the very least, to keep this game running for a long, long time.
Let's check out the top board again. Let's check out board 4, because we will.
Let's see what happens. They had this fairly innocent-looking position.
B5.
Went B5. Not sure about bishop C1. Why not go Queen E4?
E4. Centralize the queen.
Yeah. B5 was taken. H3, that looks like a mistake. Because, well, it's giving up a pawn, and it seems like White will have to spend too much time
Why
winning that
H3?
pawn back.
That wouldn't even cross my mind, I don't think.
Is that the Carlsen hypnosis effect?
So they say. So
Not
some
really.
say. No, it's just a terrible move.
It doesn't seem to work. GH, King H2 is the idea. Now he just keeps the pawn for the moment. Queen F5, Bishop D2, Queen G4. And that's an ending that is a lot less appealing if Black has a protected pass pawn on H3. So you had to go Knight F3, Knight F5. That already looks very difficult for Borki Predojevic. One thing Carlsen should not do, and he didn't, is go H4 here. Might look tempting, but then Knight E5 check is winning the queen. So he went Knight E3, that's a better move. Knight G1. True to his style, I'm not even sure he needed to. He can just keep this tension up. Play a move like E5, also looks quite good. Went for the ending, grabbed the A3 pawn. Now played Knight B1. He's going to win this, right?
You would assume so. Bishop E1, it's never easy because you have got double pawns and you have to make something of it, but yeah, I mean, yeah, no, he's going to win it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Would be a good recovery for him and of course for the Norwegians after losing to Germany yesterday. We haven't seen anything of Germany, by the way. Can
Let's
we
go.
try to find where they're playing?
Of course we can.
I'll check what else is going on in the Twitter
Where
sphere.
are the
Meanwhile,
Germans today? We've got a close-up there of Magnus Carlsen. Never looks tired.
no, he looks upset once in a while, but never tired, right? Like, he is in amazing shape. One thing we should also check. Paco Vallejo is totally winning against Vladimir
Wow.
Kramnik. He has...
We've sseen Kramnik lose. control with black. We've seen Topalov missing a great chance against Ivanchuk, amongst various
the
other
Ukraine
things.
winning that match against Bulgaria.
Yep.
So the Ukraine are trying to make it back up there. Before we get to the top matches and the game of the world champion, bit of a shocker in the women's section on one of the televised boards in the match of Norway 1, the first women's team of Norway, getting a lot of...
Think of anything worse.
Why would you enjoy being -8 then?
Well, because I know the
Yeah, at least you have a chance.
No, but I know I can resign with a clear conscience. You don't have a chance here.
Well, if you don't have a chance, you could resign with a clear conscience.
I mean, you're telling me you would be able to defend this?
No, but I'm telling you, if you know you can't, you could resign. Well, you can't resign here if you're Borki Predojevic yet. It's not that horrible, but I do agree. I believe
Gross.
Magnus Carlsen's going to win this. Borki there on camera does not look that thrilled.
Ugh.
Another team I'd like to check in with, we haven't seen much of them, is the Israeli team led by Boris Gelfand. What's going on with them?
They've had a bit of a bad tournament so far, haven't
They
they?
haven't been doing great so far.
Gelfand only drew against Bg2 today. But the rest of the boards...
Let me guess, he lost the game.
He lost his game, just lost against Carlsen. Well, what can you say? Yeah, worse ending against Carlsen.
Yeah, yesterday was really a freak occurrence where Arkady Naidic played a great game. We had him in the studio, saw the amount of lines he calculated was really impressive. But he managed to beat Magnus Carlsen from a worse ending, then went on to win it today. No such luck for Borki Predojevic, went down here after e4. He had seen enough, d takes e4, just d3. This pawn is queening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't keep the knight close to it. Knight g3, d2.
Yeah.
Game over. Good win for Magnus Carlsen. Good win for Simon Aktestein in board 2. Good win for Jon